Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Rick. Hello. I'm gonna do a painting with Basics acrylic again, Liquitex Basics. I'm gonna start doing more painting with acrylics. If you're new to the channel, I'll run through it real quick. I just got uh, there was a sale at Michael's today, so I bought. You buy two and you get one free, so that was $12, and then you get a third one. So you're basically getting these for $4 a piece, okay? And I'm doing landscapes on this channel. That's about all I'm gonna do. If I start doing abstract, I'll let you know. But for now, I'm just trying to teach landscapes with acrylic, okay? With I just found out you can use these inexpensive paints, and it still comes out good. So Algerian crimson. If you mix yellow with that, you get a nice, rich orange color. And I finally got some white, regular Basics acrylic white. I'm going to give it a try. I know in the past working with abstracts, the viscosity on this is pretty low. The coverage isn't that good, but if you use it for mixing, it should be fine. They also have a Hooker green. I think this is supposed to be their sap green because couldn't find a sap green. But I do have burnt umber. That's good to lay out your design beforehand. Ultramarine blue is good for landscapes, okay? And I just like to get Payne's gray. It's easier to mix a little white in that if you need gray. And then just black and purple, get any colors you want. I do a lot of mixing. I mixed to get this nice dark green color that I use for the trees. I mixed raw sienna and this is it's hard to say, phthalo cayenne blue. I mixed equal amounts to get this nice green color. This is Hooker green with a little yellow in it. Uh, and I put just a little black in it, okay, just to make it darker. So I'm just using cheap acrylic paint. This is a 16 by 20 canvas, and on the brushes, I just use whatever brushes I have, okay? You can use, if you got oil brushes, they work on acrylic. I got bristle brushes to bigger ones to lay a lot of paint down, okay? Because if you have a little brush like this, and you want to fill this whole painting in, it's going to take, the blue sky, it's going to take a while. So, I mean, I think this is the biggest filbert brush I have, and I don't want to use that to fill the sky in. I'm going to use a bristle brush. And you could get all this stuff I'm telling you at Michael's, okay? And I got some cool acrylic brushes, for detail work, okay? And some knives, okay, to mix your color. Well, I just kind of mix my color before because I don't want the video to take forever. Basically, what I'm trying to do is give you a layout, and then you can add on to it, okay? I'm painting on the fly, so I'm going to show you how I do that. I got water in a coffee jug here. So basically, I'm going to dip my brush and wet it in the water right now. And I'm going to grab some of that blue. It's ultramarine blue. It's pretty dark when it comes out of the tube, and then I just put a little white in it, okay? And let's watch. I'm just going to run the sky down to about halfway here, okay? And this is all going to be sky work up in here, so just lay in your color. Dip into a little bit into the water, okay? And then it'll help the paint run. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm not going to fill in everything because I'm going to put a little titanium white in there in a second and mix it and blend it all in together and maybe make some clouds on the way. Accidentally make some clouds. So now I'm going to take my brush and I'm not even going to wipe it off, grab some titanium white and kind of put some white in here. I want the horizon a little lighter, so I'm going to put it on a little heavy down here. Okay, a little white. That's enough. Now, I have a mop brush. This is good to get. See, it's really soft, okay? I'm going to come in here and start blending, but watch how I do it. You see all the dark blue area? I'm going to blend that first. All the dark. Wipe your brush off. Blend the dark spots in first. And then now I'm going to come in here and start blending the clouds a little bit and giving them some different shapes, okay? Very lightly while it's wet, okay? Blend the clouds in. The less you do it, the brighter they'll stay. So just get a light blend on it. I'm going to add more clouds to it, but you can kind of see I left that white. They almost look like clouds already, right? So those will maybe be clouds way in the distance. That's how you do your sky. Very easy. And we'll blend this in. I'm going to let it dry and then put some bright clouds up there. I got so many cloud techniques. You'll have to watch all my videos, but let's just do this painting like this. So there's our sky, okay? I'm going to wipe the brush off here. Okay. I always try and keep a paper towel in my left hand to wipe the brushes off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay in a mountain here, okay? I'm going to grab a little more titanium white on my brush and kind of kill that blue spot in there. I had a lot of water on there. I think what I want to do is have a river in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a river coming from the back here. Maybe jogging in and then out the side there. So I'm going to grab some of that blue and kind of wiggle some kind of a river in here. Maybe that might be too much of a wiggle, but maybe it'll work. We'll see. Maybe this will be a river. You don't have to, I'm just putting an idea in there now. You don't have to make this river perfect. Just throw some color in there. It could change. This is just how I kind of see what's going on. Now what I'm going to do is put a mountain in here. I have Payne's Gray, and I'm going to mix a little white in it, okay, to get a gray color. And I'm just going to design a cool mountain up here. Maybe here's the center. I'm going to put the peak a little off center. And what I'm trying to do right now is just design some mountain tops up there using the Payne's Gray. Just the top edge of it. Now with your brush, pull some of the color down into the blue to shape the mountain. Just really quickly while it's wet. This is just underpaint, so you don't have to worry about your brush strokes just yet. We're just basically laying all the underpaint down first, and then we'll start painting, okay? So there's the underpaint of our mountain. Maybe I'll have it kind of turn a little here. Make it look like it's going in the distance that way. Doesn't that look cool? Just already looks cool so far using acrylic paint. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers so I can paint live. And then I can actually converse with people while I'm painting. Let me see how it's recording so far. 11 minutes. I did a lot of talking at first about what you need to get. So maybe I'll just continue with that. This is a mixture of this is raw sienna with a little yellow in it, okay? To make it look like, looks like yellow ochre now. Okay, now what I'm doing is kind of wetting the tip of my brush, and then I pick up the paint, and it helps the paint move more on the painting, on the canvas. I'm just laying in color right now. I'm going to grab a little more just regular yellow. Now watch this. I'm going to try and lighten up the distance back there by just putting some straight yellow back there. Okay. We'll have a river coming here. I'm going to probably have some trees down here. Maybe, I don't know how the depth of this yet, you know. I'll probably have some trees running across the back here. Let's run some more yellow ochre on this side of the river now. Dip into your water. Get your brush a little wet so you don't have to cover it perfect right now. Let's just get some color down here and create an underpaint, because we're going to start adding stuff to it, like a little bit of brown. See what I mean? To add some shadows in there. See that? It's just, well, it'll all come together. This is that burnt umber. I'm kind of mixing it in now to create some a different feel. All right, there's our, I kind of like that. Now all this will be, I think I'm going to put grass in here. So far I just got the dirt running straight. I've got no hills in here or anything. Let's just lay some grass down here. I'm going to use that dark green I got. I actually mixed this with those two colors I told you, blue, the cayenne blue, and that raw sienna, and I actually made this green. I put a little black in it too, I think. but I want to have some darker color down here at the bottom. What I'm going to try and do now, I'm going to add, right up here, I'm going to add some of the yellow ochre on the edge of the green. A little more, just to get a different color on the top of this here. I want the grass to be real dark down here. Let's run our on the edge of the water here. See, I'm using this small filbert brush. See how much longer it takes? Rather, I should have used the a bigger bristle brush to get this paint in quicker. But that's all right. It's coming along good. I'm going to dip my brush in water and grab some of the burnt umber and put it right in here in between. Okay, I didn't even rinse my brush off. It's still got a little green on it. Let's put some burnt umber in here. So we got different flavors going on, different colors. Gonna add a little white to the top of this brown here. Maybe something will pop out by doing that. Let's add a little white to our green in certain places. Just take white on your brush and come in here and swipe some white into this green, just like that. Okay. Now let's get the blender brush. Okay, it's called a mop brush. Come in here on the green now. Let's blend that white down into the green. This one too. Let's blend all those colors together. We'll make a cool grassy knoll right there. Blend it in. Let's blend the brown in. Blend where those two colors come together. And there's our underpaint. It's done. It looks pretty good. Wow, I like the brightness back here shining underneath the mountain there. Doesn't that look cool? I'm not going to do any detail work till I know where all the trees are, because there's a lot you can do. You can add, I added green there, but you could add more browns in here to make things going on in there. Let me cover that up. Let's do the snow on the mountain now. I'm going to use this filbert brush. The filbert brush is pretty cool because you can use it. You can use it like this, or you can turn it sideways. I'm going to start putting snow up. I'm going to test this white out now. I haven't used this white before on a landscape. Titanium white. And I'm going to start putting some snow on this mountain here. I'm going to kind of imagine where the peaks are. Of course, there's going to be snow up here, but I want to add a little more in some places. I'm going to turn this mountain so it looks like it's turning this way. This one too, just a little. This one. All right, there's the snow. You see how easy that is? Now mix a little bit of the blue. Mix a little of the ultramarine blue with white. You can even put a little gray in it too. It's like going to be a bluish gray. And up here, come next to your white and pull some of this color to the left, right next to the white. What I think about is like I'm holding a knife. I'm going to add a little more blue in it so it's a little brighter, like a knife, and just I'm swiping it down as if it was a knife, okay? Just like that. And I'm not being careful because this mountain's far away and I don't want it to look like I was up here doing too much detail work. Add a little more blue. You can hold, if you want to stand back, you can hold your brush like this so you can stand back and actually see it better. See what you're doing. Okay. It's good practice to do this. It makes your paintings look a little looser. Okay. But it's better on your eyes because if you're up here close, like looking at it, you don't want to hurt your eyes, blur your eyes out. But look at that. See, you can hold your brush and just loosely put the paint up there. Now what I want to do, wipe the brush off, and right where the two colors are coming together, kind of get a blend on it. Maybe just run your brush down where they coming together. Just run your brush over it. It's going to make it look a little softer, okay? And then if that paint soaks in, we'll check it in a little bit. We'll add some more white up in there, okay? But let's see how that looks in the frame. Wow, those mountains look pretty good. I really like that. I'm going to grab a little white on my finger and see what clouds are going to look like in here. I think it's going to look good with white clouds up there. I'm going to grab a little white now and define this water a little more so we don't lose our river. I kind of like that river now. It's going to be snaking down. It'll be, I might be able to put a couple waterfalls in here. I'll show you how to do that. If this video takes too long, I'll just split it up in 2 parts, okay? But I'm just showing you some of my techniques, and if you're a beginner, you should be able to understand what I'm doing here. It's acrylic paint. It's easier than oil. You can just wash these brushes with water when you're done, okay? And make sure when you're done with I just keep my brushes in pretty much in the water while I'm painting so they don't dry. If you use a brush earlier and you put it down and you don't rinse it off in water, it'll harden up on you while you're painting. So I've been using this brush for a while now, so what I want to do is lighten up some of this back now. And I'm going to use a little titanium white, just a very light streak across the back there, okay? Just a light streak under the mountain. We want, the distance should always be a little lighter, okay? Way in the back. That looks good. That looks good. Now what I'm going to do, this is my foreground here. What I'm going to probably do is have a bush down here with a big evergreen tree coming up the side here. So what I want to do is I want to put that in now, because then I know what kind of work I can put out in here, okay? So let's do that now. I'm going to use a 1-inch bristle brush, just going to wet it just a little and grab some of that, this is that green that I made, okay? I'm just going to stamp my brush in there, and what I'm going to do is stamp some bushes down here at the bottom. Okay, see how cool this brush makes the bush tops. You see that? Pull the ground here to the right. And I'll grab a little white right now and show you how the bushes look underneath by lightening up the ground down here. See that? We've got a row of bushes there. Okay, now I'm going to use a number. I think this is a 4 or 6. It's a number 4 fan brush to run a skinny tree up there. This is an acrylic fan brush. Okay, I like to use oil fan brushes. I got a number 2 that I use for detail work. So what I'm going to do is run a tree right on the edge. Okay, I want it pretty tall. I'm going to just stamp in my trunk here, part way down, and then I'm going to pull it down and get a little thicker here at the bottom. Okay, so this is like going to be right in the front. So this way we can determine our height going back to the mountains, like how big these trees got to be. These trees by this tree in the foreground is going to help us design the painting, okay? So I'm going to fill my brush up and use this corner and tap. I'm going to stamp in the branches with the corner. I'm just going to start off small up here and design my tree as I come down. Try and stay small at the top here. You don't have to put branches on everywhere, but take your time and really see what's going on there as you come down. The other thing is, you see how I lighten this up back here? You want to make sure this is all light where this color is going to cover. If you have this color in here, the tree's not going to look right. So let's just keep coming down with some branches. I'm using the corner. I'm just coming out straight. Don't worry about pointing your branches up, you know. It's a little more trickier to do that. So I'm just letting it come out naturally straight. As you come down, of course, you're going to get a little wider, but and you're going to get longer. So what I like to do sometimes is just come down, and then I'll lengthen my them out according to what I have here. Okay, make these longer now. See that? And it's always good to fill in some of the middle. Just like that. That look good? See how it looks in the frame. Pretty good. I'll highlight this area down here with some white. So rinse your brush off, your fan brush. It's going to be a little wet, and grab a little bit of titanium white on there. Let's pick out some branches in here now. So our trunk's about here, and you can actually put some of this white on some of the tops of the branches here, just on the tops, okay? And I'm going to go up a little and highlight. These are already pretty, got highlights on them. They kind of mixed with the mountain there. Just run a little titanium white, just like that. Don't cover all the dark spots though. And what's going to happen in a little bit, this white's going to soak in and turn it a different color green, okay? But at least now you can see, you know, that there's individual branches in here, okay? Doesn't that look cool? I'm going to fix these bushes up a little now. I'll get a little more paint, and I'm going to make my bushes maybe a little bigger, and then I'll highlight these bushes now. I'm just going to use white to show you how to do it. I'm going to rinse that brush off with water, wipe it off, and I'll just use white again. So just imagine the light's coming in from the right. So what I'm going to do just to show you first is I'm going to hit just the right side of these bushes so you can see how I figure out where they're at. You see that? You leave some of the dark in here. Okay. Just do that and then let it soak in. We're going to let the paint's going to soak in, and we might have to highlight it a little more, okay? And then you could take some of that white and on your brush and pull it under your bushes here, because the light's coming down here, okay? The shadow's going to be on the other side, but so we don't need a shadow behind these bushes, okay? So here's what I was talking about, that number 2 fan brush. While it's wet, you can come in here and you can pull some of the dark color out to make some hills in here. But it's already dry, so I'll put a little color on my brush and create some dark spots so it looks like hills in there. Okay. This is looking pretty good. So I got my foreground figured out, okay? This is going to be really close to us, okay? Now I'm going to run a row of trees back here, way in the distance. I'm going to use that number 2, this oil brush, okay? A fan brush, and run a row of trees back there. So my distance is kind of going off into that corner. So I'm gonna use the dark green. I know things get lighter, or turn gray as you go further in the distance. So what I'm gonna do, I like that light color up there. I want to leave that. So I'm gonna start the trees just on top of the river. I'm going to stamp some color right on top of the river, really small. Okay, because I don't want to cover up the light back there. And then I'm going to bring my trees up a little higher here, probably to there. And then just fill in the rest down to the river. These trees will be right on the river. Now with your fan brush, pull this color to the right under those trees there. Now let's pull all that color to the right at the bottom. All right, so those are going to be distant trees. Doesn't that look cool? See how I left the light color up there? I did color all the yellow ochre, though. It still looks good, okay? I'm really liking, let me see where I'm at, 35 minutes. Okay, so I'll cut it here, and I'm gonna take a little break, and I'll be back. Cheers.